My question is about schools and camps and other children's activities that are so essential to their mental health. And mental health practitioners have underlined and again that the social isolation of children, even when they're parents, has real implications on their mental health. Quebec has opened its schools outside in Montreal a couple of weeks ago, partly based on concerns around children's mental health issues. But then, right afterwards, numbers of cases of children and staff being infected were identified. BC will open its schools, I believe,
this week.
Very soon. Ontario has not made a definitive decision, although I don't expect Ontario schools to open until September. Ms. Gruenwoldt, can you help us find a way forward in this report to make an observation or a recommendation, keeping in mind that we don't want to get into jurisdictional sniping?
Absolutely. I think there's lots of considerations about how we keep our students safe, how we keep their families safe, how we keep the teachers safe, and how we support a return to school for some of our medically fragile children as well. This is not a simple solution. I think it requires collaboration across health sector, the education sector, and great partnership with families and their children and youth. You've heard some terrific ideas brought forward today from Camille and Kaya, and I think their unique perspective can help inform what does a safe school space look like, and how can they still have the benefit of connecting with their peers while keeping their teachers and themselves safe. I think we're going to have to watch carefully from what's happening in British Columbia this week, who have been leaders arguably across the country and in this pandemic. I think we also need to learn from Quebec, who's in a very different situation. There's some international experience too that we can leverage. Of course, there's many nuances in terms of what the context and the environment is internationally, but there's still lessons that can be learned, and our ability to share and be transparent about experiences can help us shape a path forward. I don't have a simple answer for you today, but we can certainly work with you to create some recommendations moving forward.
So should the federal government have a role in developing or putting forward some guidelines for provinces to follow? I know Ontario is doing that, but I'm always concerned. People travel, as we well know, they go from province to province, and they will start doing that. And does that create a greater risk for children and their parents when there is such a variety or such a diversity of measures in our country?
I think it's going to take extraordinary measures and some creative and innovative solutions, which will also include virtual delivery of education as well. And these come at a great expense. So I think that there's a leadership role for the federal government to play from a financial perspective, supporting our provinces to enable those solutions. And I think that they can be a visionary and a leader in terms of, moving the needle to progress us towards a safe reopening in September.